What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah. Today we're going back to the Shadowdeep. Now, brief disclaimer. This is a new game for me. I'm learning it, and I made a mistake when I was building things. I read an example wrong, and I just made a mistake. I misunderstood. However, it's an easily fixed mistake, and it doesn't have any impact really on what previously happened. What happened was I messed up the recruitment points and the calculations for putting my party together. Now, my options were to either just get rid of one of my companions, which at this point, I'm attached to them. I don't want to do that. However, I also had a total of 5 heroic actions. During build, I could have spent 1 build point for 10 extra recruitment points. And I could do that up to 3 times. So, there were 2 heroic actions that I never used. That would be Powered Shot and Distraction. Never used them. So I'm just going to pitch those away. And then I'll take those 2 build points and convert them into what I needed for the recruit points. That way I get to keep my companions. I never used those heroic actions, so it's not like I'm getting double duty out of it. You know, I never ever used them. So that's going to work for me. Hopefully that is satisfactory for all of you guys. Again, I apologize for that, but mistakes do happen. Thank you to Orc Tim, the YouTuber, who pointed that out to me. I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Because, you know, I want to do it right as much as possible, you know. Because I'm here to have fun, but I want to try to have fun in the right way. And, you know, when you play a lot of games, just stuff falls through the cracks. So I appreciate all the help I can get. Thank you very much. I'm super grateful. That being said, we're going to be getting into the second mission today, which is the Beacon Tower. And we're going to be playing Scenario 1, which is the Bridge Guards. So we got some knolls and some river effects. This is good. I'm really excited for this table. I'm really excited for this mission. I love this game so much, and I like that I'm getting better at playing it right, I think. So if you haven't hit the like button for this, or the subscribe button if you enjoy the content, or maybe even that bell notification so you can be alerted when I post new content, which I try to do a few times a week. Consider that for me. It really does help out a lot. And then let me stop talking and let's go take a look at the board, and let's get into this first scenario of the second mission of Rangers of Shadowdeep, the Bridge Guard. Make your way towards Tor Varden. The gentle, rolling hills slowly give way to rocky plains, and finally into the boulder-filled maze known locally as the Scree. It is a barren, unnerving place. A perfect site for an ambush, as the large rocks cut lines of sight down to just a few yards in most places. Proceeding cautiously, you eventually hear the Enthel River, which you must cross to reach Tor Varden. As you approach, however, you hear other noises as well, nearly drowned out by the river. Voices of some inhuman type, a language filled with whines and barks. Climbing to the top of a large boulder, you get a clear view down to the river. There, standing astride the old stone bridge, is a pack of gnolls. Judging by the large cooking pot they have set up over the fire, these gnolls are camped here, likely to guard the bridge. The only other place to cross the Enthel River is a ford, in sight of the bridge. Otherwise, it will take at least half a day to reach another crossing. There is nothing for it. The gnolls will have to be eliminated as quickly and quietly as possible. Alright, so we got my rangers deployed, or my ranger and companions mostly deployed right here on this flank. I do have Olaf and Rasmussen over here. Everybody's out of line of sight. It's like all the trees, rocks, they're all like solid blocking, cannot see through them because it calls for lots of rocks. I don't have quite as many rocks as I would like, so we'll using some tree clusters to represent that type of map. Before we get going, there are a couple of rolls to be made. First off is a navigation check at target number 12, which I'm going to make with Dundrick. He's the only one who has any navigation, and he has +1. So that is a 5, which will fail that check. If I had passed that, I would have gotten to pick 3 people and give them a free 6-inch move. So, at the start of each turn, I get to make a stealth check with somebody. I'm going to be using Dakon for this. As long as he's on the board, he will be the one doing this for me because he has a +5 bonus to his stealth. So we're going to make that stealth check. 4 + 5. I said it was target number 8. Hold on, let me double target number 8, and I rolled a 4. That will succeed. So I get to choose one of these knolls and move it 6 inches in any direction. I cannot, however, make them move into the water. I'm choosing to move that knoll sergeant back towards the camp. Okay, bringing us to Ranger Phase 1 proper, where I will activate Dakon first. I'm going to move him. He's got a 7-inch movement. Ooh. So he can get to here on his first movement and then tuck in, which is all I want for him. Is to just get in behind that boulder, be a stealthy devil like he is. So Dundrick is pretty fast. He's got to move 7, so on a full move 7, and then on his half move 4. So he's going to get up and tuck right behind this rock. And then I think my next move is going to bring Tobias up to... I'm going to bring him to this side. And I'll double move him. Get him right in there behind the tree line. So that's myself and my 2 companions. Now we will go to the creature phase. Okay, so currently, none of the creatures are in combat. So step 1 doesn't apply. There are no heroes in line of sight. So step 2 doesn't apply. And there is no target point. So in step 3, everything is going to make a random movement around the board. So... after making their random moves, it says specifically they cannot move randomly into the river. So the ones that would have walked into the river, I re-rolled their dice. That's why you saw me come back down. Oh my goodness, to this end. So once they've all moved, none of them are in line of sight of a hero. Everybody's behind something, which means they will not take a second action. So that will bring it to the rest of my companion phase. All right, so the rest of my companion phase is going to consist solely of movement and getting people tucked behind things. All right, so the end of my companion phase, I've ran Olaf and Rasmussen up behind this rock. Sigvald's kind of just lumbered his way up behind these trees, and Cannoli, the Wonder Hound, has brought himself up into a striking position against potentially that knoll. But before we can get into any of that, before I get ahead of myself, in this particular scenario, we draw an event card at the end of the odd number turn. So it is the end of turn 1, which means we need to draw an event card. Red 6 will be: place a large vulture on the table anywhere along the hero's starting table edge. During the creature phase, each turn this vulture will move 6 inches directly across the table. It will not force combat or otherwise willingly deviate from this course. Only heroes that can fly can move into combat with the vulture. If the vulture takes damage within line of sight of the knolls, it raises the alarm. Make a note if the vulture manages to exit the other side of the table before the end of the scenario. Now, it says I can place it anywhere I want, but that, I don't know. I know it's not cheating, but it doesn't feel good to me. So I'm going to roll a D3, and I'm going to put the vulture for like each 10 inches of the 30-inch board, And I'm going to put the vulture at the middle of that 10 inches. So 1. So see, the dice gods gave me their favor because I randomized it, because that's exactly where I wanted it to be. So vulture placed right here at the edge of the table, and we go into round 2, where I need to make a stealth check with Dakon, +5 to the roll. 6 + 5 is 11. That is target number 8, and that is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm going to move this knoll up to behind this rock, where I can shoot at it, but it is not within line of sight of any of its friends. I'm just going to isolate it and then murderate it. So this knoll has unwillingly walked into my ambush. So I'm going to start off with Dundrick, and I'm going to let a bow shot ring out against that scenario. Gives me +4 to my attacks of any kind, as long as the alarm has not been raised yet, which it has not, because no knoll has activated within line of sight of me or taken damage within line of sight of another knoll. And where I've walked this knoll up to, none of his friends can see him. He is out here alone. And so Dundrick is going to take the shot with +4 for the scenario rule, and then another +2 for being himself, for a total of +6 to this roll. 17 + 6 is a 23 to the 14 of the knoll with their fight of +1. So 23 over 14 is 9. With that 9 damage, I will almost kill that knoll. I'll drop. Knolls have 10 health. They have 11 armor and 10 health. Let me double check. I did my math wrong. Sorry. 23 for his. 23 for his would be his combat scores for his damage against the armor of the knoll, which is 11, and then I do the difference, which would be 12, which will kill that knoll. Dundrick will then move to right there. My next activation for the Ranger phase is going to be Tobias, who is going to take a shot at this vulture and hopefully deal with it. Alright, Tobias will be +6 to this roll, to the vulture's +0. Oh. That is unfortunate. That is a miss. Alright, so after pouting to myself off camera for a second about missing that shot, I've moved Tobias around to this side of the trees, and I darted Sigvald in his clanky armor from this stand of trees to behind this stand of trees, bringing us to the creature phase, in which there are still no knolls in line of sight. So the alarm is still not raised, so things will continue for another round of random movements, except for the vulture. The vulture will go 6 inches straight forward, but the vulture will only sound the alarm if I do damage to it while it is within line of sight of knolls. The random move mechanic is so fun. Like, the fact that, like, these two archers right here basically ended up just doing, like, a pass of patrol, and, like, this guy who ran up to look at the river and see what was going on was like, nope, I'm going back to the fire. Sarge is just out there, I guess, going to the bathroom, told this guy to, get lost for following him, hurt his feelings. This guy, however, is getting in danger close. He's yeah. Oh, I forgot this fellow over here. I thought I was short one. His dice is just going to have him kind of moving to the edge and facing out and sitting there, I guess. So that's just what he's doing right now. That was everything else, though. So we're going to go to my companion phase, where I'm going to figure out what I'm doing. So I did a little bit of moving, a little bit of shuffling. I mostly stayed put. Shuffled Olaf and Rasmussen around the rock a little bit. Brought Cannoli around here right up behind Sigvald to hang out. Dakon's going to stay put, and that's everybody. So this is an even number turn. This is the end of turn 2, going into turn 3. So no event card this turn, so we'll just go to 3, and I'll make a stealth check because there's still, the alarm has still not been raised, so I still get to make that check. 5 plus 5 is 10. Yes, I needed that again. So that allows me to move this gnoll, who is already getting danger close, up this way where he will not be in line of sight of any of his friends. And alright, so Ranger phase of turn 3. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with Dundrick yet. However, I am certain of what I want to do over here. What we're going to have is, while these guys are crossing their backs, just as this one's walking that way and this one's walking that way, here's going to come Sigvald, big clank clank through the trees, close this gap, and just smash this guy in the back. This guy just hears dook, 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 clang, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, impact. So Sigvald is +4 to his fight, and +4 for the scenario rule because the alarm has not been raised. So I'm +8 to this. 13 plus 8 will be a 21 to their 12, 13, 14 because it's a fighter, I think. Either way, I will win that combat. It's a two-handed weapon, so my damage will go from 21 to 23, which will be enough to just splatter that gnoll all across the scree. So that does it for my Ranger phase. Sigvald splattered the gnoll. Cannoli booked it with a move and then a half move to behind this rock. Dundrick just jumped cover from here to here. They're going to try to maybe work their way around to a flanking position. Anyways, that will bring us to the creature phase. Still managing to stay stealthy here. So no heroes are in line of sight anywhere, which means random movements. So that will do it for the creature phase. I almost got caught over here. His movement bar made this up, but he had to move over a couple inches, so he didn't quite make it down past this rock where he could see into this lane. It's just can't quite see the shot. So I've got some decisions. I also need to move the vulture still. I'll do that in just 1 second. So I've got some choices to make about what I want to do here. I could, if I rolled well on maybe like a fireball or something, I might could take him out. If he stays put, then I've got some options like next turn if I make the stealth check and if I'm still in that position, then maybe I can pull this guy into a shot or like walk this guy closer into a better position where I can deal with him that way. And I think that's what I'm going to try to set up for is making that. And if nothing else, then being able to make a charge into him during my phase next time. So the vulture landed 6 inches straight forward, put him right about there. First thing I'm going to do is take a shot with Tobias at that bird. So Tobias is +6 to the roll because the alarm has still not been raised. 7 plus 6 is 13, so I will win the roll. I got to check the vulture's armor. Smokes, that vulture has armor 14, so I hit it but do not hurt it. Okay then, let's go. So everybody is just moving around a little bit. Dakon, sorry, I forgot to move him. I do want to jump him over to here. Just tuck him into those woods right there. Olaf moving up to around this. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to throw the fireball at his, because if I manage to kill that gnoll now and I make my stealth roll next time, then I have different decisions to make. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try to deal with this guy right now. I'm +7. The gnoll is currently +2 because I moved. So Let's get it, dude. 13 plus 7 is 20, which will beat the 4 from the 6 that the Knoll has. So that's, unfortunately, I don't think not enough. Let me double read Fireball. So that'll be 19. Yes, a 19 to their 11 armor, which will deal 8 damage. So that Knoll will have 2 health. Now, fortunately, that Knoll is not in line of sight of any other Knolls, or it would have raised the alarm. And I did, unfortunately, I had to use my spell, but it helps for the sake of the decisions that I'm going to have to make in a moment. That being said, we are done with turn 3. We're going to get ready to go to turn 4, but since it is an odd numbered turn, we will be drawing an event card, which will be a red 3. Ooh, I got super lucky there. So the red 3 was to place a Knoll in the center of the table and then roll a dice, which there's the dice I rolled, and move it in that direction, 8 inches. And luckily he popped in out of the trees wherever he came from, out of his den, and then ran to check in with his sergeant leader. Alarm still has not been raised, so stealth check. 4 plus 5 is 9. Still making it. Okay. So I think I can get this one to walk out of line of sight of his friends, because the bridge won't be able to see him because of this. So I just need to try to, let me see if I can get him to where that fellow cannot see. Absolutely was able to break his line of sight to him, so he's a potential target. But first, I have to do something about this. So ideally, Olaf gets in there and just finishes him out. So that's what we're going to go for. Still no alarm, so I still have my good stuff. So get in there, Olaf. Let's see you do work, buddy. All right, Olaf is plus 7 to the roll. Gets a 19 for the Knoll, which goes to a 20 since they're an archer. But plus 7 to his will make a 22. And that'll be plenty of damage to finish that Knoll off, which is amazing, because now I can focus on some other things. That other thing predominantly being this Knoll right here. So Dundrick is going to have to step out from behind this to make a shooting attack at that Knoll. So we're just going to come right here and we're going to pop off. Plus 6. Wait. Yes, plus 6 to the roll. 19. I'm going to use a heroic action right here. Wait, 19. Wait, I might not have to. Hold up. 19 plus 6. So my combat score is a 25. Never mind. I don't need to use it here. I could have made that into a crit, but I don't need to use it here. That shot against their armor 11, so it'll hit, and then against their armor 11 with a 25 will absolutely just dead-eye that Knoll. Which is incredibly perfect. Thank you, Dice Gods, for shining your favor on me today, which is incredibly perfect because that then allows me to take a shot at this vulture with Tobias. So Tobias is plus 6, same as Dundrick, because I still haven't sounded the alarm. 19, 18 plus 6 though is 24 against their plus 0, so 19, so I will win. And then 24 against their armor of 14 for the vulture should shoot that vulture down. I think it only has like 4 health. It does only have 4 health, so that vulture at least is dead. That being the end of the ranger phase, which was an incredibly awesome and eventful ranger phase for me, we will move to the creature phase. I'm still managing to hide, so we'll do some random movements. Okay, so this is pretty good for me. This Knoll has kind of isolated himself from the rest of the group, so that's pretty good for me. He's kind of behind these trees, so he can't be seen from the bridge, and he can't be seen from the other side of that rock. So that's that's pretty good for me. We're going to go look at the rest of the companion phase. I'm going to think about what I want to do here. All right, so into the companion phase. There's no event card this turn, so I don't have to worry about another Knoll popping in on me right now. So I think now is the time to try to start pushing towards the bridge. So I'm bringing Rasmussen to the middle, Sigvald up around to the side, Dakon pushes around to hide behind these. My hope is to be able to pull this Knoll back down to behind these trees and rocks so that I can come out and smash him. Just absolutely obliterate him is my hope and goal. So that will bring us to the end of turn 4. Going into turn 5, and we'll make a stealth check. All right, Dakon. 9 plus 5 is 14. Oh, the sneaky is so good. Okay, so this Knoll is I'm gonna make him walk down into my trout. It's a trout. As I was going in and getting ready to do things, I realized I had forgotten to move Cannoli. So he double moved from over here to back around behind these trees. He's got a 12 on a double move. So Ranger phase. Gonna start with Dundrick, who's gonna move to here and fire at that Knoll. Still currently +6 to the roll. Ooh. I have a heroic action where I can re-roll 1 dice. So we're gonna use that right now. 15 plus 6 is 21. Okay. Oh no, sorry, +5. Because I did move before I shot. So still, 20 beats 19. Whew. Okay. Okay. Okay, 20 plus 19. So that'll leave him, that's 19, minus their armor of 11. We'll leave it with 1 hit point. Tobias is going to move 3. And then 3, so move his 6 to right here, which is going to put me in line of sight of him. There's just no real way around it. However, I really want to try to deal with this, so I'm going to take my shot. 15 plus 6 is 21, which will do it. Oh no, sorry, +5, so 20 against that. So that'll do the 1 damage that I need to deal with that Knoll. And then, yeah, and then Sigvald is going to make his attack against this Knoll. He will be +8 because as of right now, the alarm has not yet sounded. Oh yeah, 17 plus 8 is 25. So my damage would be a 27. Well, that's definitely enough to absolutely just splatter that Knoll. And I'm okay with the alarm being sounded at this point because there aren't a whole lot of Knolls left, and they're not going to go through the river. They will congregate towards the bridge, which means that I can kind of get in there and just hopefully just knock them off as they try to come across. So that is it for my Ranger phase, and at this point, the sergeant right here will see Tobias and sound the alarm. So at this point, the Knolls will begin moving towards the bridge to try to come get me because, again, they won't walk through the river. Okay, and we end the creature phase. I was mistaken. The AI would still say so. He was able to see him, so he would move his path. Now he's not going to move through the river, which means he will cross the bridge, moving towards that hero. The rest of them did not have people in line of sight because his line of sight was blocked by the trees to Tobias. He was the only one who could see him. The rest of them were blocked by, these bits of terrain here. So they still made their random movements. However, the alarm has been sounded, so I will not get the bonus. And now we get to my companion phase, which I think I'm going to start by charging Cannoli. Let me make some measurements. So I can definitely double move Cannoli and get him into range of that Knoll, but I won't be able to attack. I don't have quite the movement to get where I need to be. But I can move in and provide some support. Which if I can go 12, I can go technically to this side of him. And of course knock everything down. Okay, so Cannoli ends up there. And then Dakon is going to come out from hiding and come make an attack as well. He's going to leave room for Sigvald to get in next. Okay, so this may have been a mistake. We're going to see. Dakon is fight +1, but he has support because of Cannoli, so that's +2. And then the sergeant is +3. So let's see. Oh, all right. So I will win the combat with a score of 6 + 3 is 9. So that's good. I'm at least not going to take damage, but I'm definitely not going to deal any damage. Since I won the combat, I will stay in the combat. I'm about to just mob out on this bridge. Okay, so that was all. Just made some movements, nothing fancy. Olaf came up and around. Rasmussen moved into this combat with a double move just to give some more support, and that was it for the companion phase. So we will draw an event card because this is an odd numbered turn as we get ready to go to turn 6, and we will get a red 5. Red 5 is a booby trap. I have to pick a random character, so we're going to go left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be a re-roll. 1. It's always Dundrick. That's okay. Let me check his stats and decide which one I want to use because it is a perception roll or a traps roll. I'm not sure which he has. And the answer to that question is perception, which he has a +3 in. So I'm looking for a target number 7. That's a 13 plus my 3, so I pass. Let me see what happens if I pass. So it means that I just managed to detect the trap that they had laid over here. I guess they put a trap. It makes sense, they put a trap over here near this ford. Their main goal is the bridge, but that is a potential passing. So it was, I guess, smart. I hate to say that Knolls were smart, but I guess it was smart of the Knolls to put a booby trap there just in case somebody tried to sneak around on them. Into my ranger phase, the alarm has been sounded, so there's no more stealth rolls to make. I'm going to attack with Rasmussen. This may be a bad choice, but I want to either kill the dude or try to move him out of the way. And if I lose, I can move out of the way. Like I can move away. Oh no, I can't. No, I can't. So never mind. I'm gonna attack with Dakon. So I'm got 2 supporting characters, so I'm +5 to the roll. So 8 against 13. He will beat my armor by 1, 2, 3. What? Dagon has an armor of 10, so he'll beat my armor. Plus, he has a 2-handed weapon, which is an additional 2 damage, so he will deal 5 damage to me. Okay. So I'm going to try to attack with the dog. Going to try to swing with the dog. He's a straight +4 to the roll. Okay, that's what we like to see. So 13 plus 4 is a 17. The Knolls armor of 11 will do 6 damage. So that'll take that Gnoll down to half. I've got Dundrick, who is going to just go for it. So I'm going to move to the forward. Now my movement stops when I get to it, but I don't have to take a swim test there. So my next turn I should be able to move normal. The scenario doesn't say that moving through the river is rough ground, but it makes sense to me that it would. So I'm going to say that moving through the river will be, at least through the river, it will cost me some extra movement next time because it just makes more sense. The river is supposed to be super cold and super fast. So it makes sense that that would cost me some extra movement to get through there. Going to the creature phase, we will be starting with the Gnoll Sergeant because he is in combat. So I need to figure out who he's going to swing at. This is equal distance. So we'll say 1, 2, 3. 3, so he will swing at Dakon. Dakon is at a +5 modifier. Ooh, 15 against 20, or 15 plus 5 goes to 20. Against 13 plus 3 goes to 16, which means Dakon will not only hit, but will do enough damage to kill that Gnoll Sergeant. Whew, that is a relief. And then I can move an inch. So I will just kind of push up the bridge a little bit. And at this point, all of the gnolls can see. They can all at least see Cannoli. Like, he can see Cannoli, he can see Cannoli, and he can also see Cannoli. So at this point, they will be moving towards the bridge. So the 3 remaining gnolls are pushing their way towards the bridge. This one double moved and managed to make it to Cannoli, but didn't have an action left to attack with. So then we will go to my companion phase, and we'll see if we can arrange some folks on the table. Okay, so we moved Rasmussen off the bridge, ran Sigvald up onto the bridge, bringing Olaf up onto the bridge behind him, move in Tobias up onto the riverbank, who will take a shot at this gnoll, who's going to get some intervening terrain cover for that kind of wall that's on the side of the bridge. So that gnoll, so he's +2 and then +1 for the intervening against my +3, or my +2. So I will still, wait, 8. Now, yes, I'll still win that 13 over, or 14 over a, okay, no. So I am currently +2, so I have a 13. They are currently +4. They're +2 for their fight skill. They're +1 for the intervening terrain on the bridge wall, and they are +1 for me taking a hurried shot. So they will have a 12 to my 13. 13 will beat their 12. 13 will beat their armor of 11 by 2. So that gnoll will take 2 damage and be down to 8 health. That will do it for my companion phase. Now we are on turn 6 currently, so there is no event card. So we will go to turn 7, and it will be my ranger phase. I'm going to start off with Dundrick, who's going to take a shot at that gnoll, and then I will move across the river. Dundrick is +2 to the roll. Ooh, that is going to be a missed shot. Nothing I can do about that. So to get across the ford, which was rough, cost me. The river is 2 inches wide at the ford, so that cost me 4 inches of movement, and then my other 3 movement on my 7 got me down to the other bank of the river. Up next, I'm going to activate Sigvald, and he's going to take a swing at this gnoll. Sigvald is currently +6 to this roll for his base +4 and +2 for support from Cannoli. 13 plus 6 is 19. 16 plus 2 for that being a fighter is 18, so I will win the combat. On the damage roll, I have a 2-handed, so my 19 goes to a 21. And 21 over their armor of 11 is 10 damage, which is enough to kill that gnoll, which is absolutely 100% perfect what I wanted to happen, because now what I'm going to do is use his movement to move 5 inches up, which will force combat with this gnoll, but I'm okay with that. Technically, I probably should have shot with Tobias first, but it's okay. Anyways, we're going to move him up 5, and that will force combat. The gnoll will force combat. Alright, so that will be the end of Sigvald. Oh yeah, so Olaf is within 6. So he's going to move up and attack the gnoll. He will be at +5 because he has a base fight of 3, and then he still has support because of Sigvald the Templar being there. So 11 plus 5 is 16. 14 plus 2 is 16, so that's a tied combat. So we will deal damage to each other. So with everybody having 16s and both of us being armor 11, myself and the Gnoll will take 5 damage, which will leave the Gnoll at 3 health and Olaf at 7 health, which will be all of my activations for the Ranger step. So we'll go to the creature phase, where that Gnoll will swing first because it's already in combat. So let's see who he's going to swing at. On an even, he'll swing at Sigvald. That is an odd, so he'll swing at Olaf. Olaf is still +5 to the roll. Ooh. That's a 17 to an 11, so the Gnoll will win combat and deal 17, 11, 6. Sorry, y'all. We'll deal 6 damage, leaving Olaf at 1. Ooh. That's rough. It's okay, though. I think I'm going to be okay. So the Gnoll right here was able to move up around this tree and make it into combat with Sigvald. Now, because there's equal numbers of supporters, no one gets a support bonus. It'll just be Sigvald's +4 against the Gnoll's +2. Alright, so 9 + 4 is 13 against the 3 of the things. So I'm going to hit, and I'm going to deal 2 damage to that. With those 2 Gnolls done, it is now my turn to activate. So I'm going to activate my Conjure Rasmussen. I'm going to move up, and I'm going to cast Heal on Olaf, ending his movement right here on the bridge and healing Olaf for 5, putting him back up to 6 health. Next, I'm going to move Cannoli up to here and swing at that Gnoll. He was right about there, right? There we go. Alright, so I'm going to swing at this one. Now I outnumber the amount of support. So, like, this is canceled by... Olaf is canceled by the other Gnoll. Sigvald is left uncanceled, so I get +2 to my fight. So this is +2 against +2. Ooh. So, that'll beat me, for sure. 14 beats my armor of 10, so I'll take 4 damage. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate Dakon, and I'm going to double move. So he has a base move of 7, so I have a double move of 11. So I'm going to move 6 to here. And then I'm going to jump an inch right here. Now, when I jump, I have to make an acrobatics check, and I need target number of 1 plus the number of full inches jump, which I've measured this out, and the amount that I'm jumping is 1 inch. So, let's make target number is 2. Whew. I made the jump. I was super worried about that because if I didn't, I would fall in the river. And that's not good. Swimming is hard. So, but I don't though, so I managed to nimbly jump across to right there. And I'm going to double check my measurement, but I'm fairly sure. Oh, no, wait, no, because I wanted to go this way. Hold on. So where I landed right here, it put me at 8 inches, like right there at the edge of the river. So then I had 3 inches remaining, which I'm using to move this way because I want to be able to get to this clue, because I think one of them will have an easier time getting over to the chest. So, who do I got left? I got Rasmussen activated, Cannoli, him. Tobias needs to activate. I don't want to swim. So he's going to double move back around, ending up right here on the bridge. That will do it for my companion phase of turn 7. We're going to be going to turn 8, but turn 7 is an odd number, so we have an event card. red 2. On a red 2, rain. A heavy rain starts to fall. All line of sight is reduced to 12 inches, and all shooting attacks are reduced by -2. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty much past the point of needing to worry about shooting at stuff, and I'm just kind of glad it wasn't another knoll popping out behind me somewhere. That's not what I wanted. So we're gonna go to turn 8, Ranger phase. So Dundrick is gonna double move. I already know this. And then I think I'm going to swing with Olaf first, because I think Olaf might be able to polish him off, because he would still have support, so he'd still be at a +5 bonus. But I'm going to move Dundrick, and then I'm going to roll some dice for Olaf. So Dundrick has ended up right here, so close. So he's definitely going to make it to that treasure to pick that up next time. Now I'm going to, as I said, activate my man Olaf right here. Yes, I had about Olaf. +5 on the roll to the Knolls, +2. Okay, so I win, but I'm not going to do any damage. I am also not going to choose to step away. I'm not going to step away because I want to stay in here to give support to Sigvald, who's going to swing right now at this one right here. So Sigvald will currently have support, so he'll be +6 to the roll. Oh yeah. 17. Oh yeah, that's a super dead. Mushed him. Dead no. Alright, so that'll end my ranger phase. We'll go into the turn 8 creature phase, which will be this lonely knoll right. And this creature phase is going to be pretty short and sweet, I feel. So this knoll is going to swing at Sigvald. No support anywhere because nobody else is in base to base with him. So it'll just be his 4 against the fighter's 2. Oh yes, the dice gods favor me today. That's 20, y'all. That's a crit. You can't see it right now. But I'm doing a crit dance. Yup. It's really just me moving like a fool, but I'm happy right now. So that's it's definitely a dead no, but I want to know how much damage it is. So it automatically hits. I don't have to worry about that. So it's 20. And then it was a 24 technically to hit. So a 24 plus 2 for the two-handed. So 26 plus 5 for being a crit. So 31 minus 11 is 20. So that hit was 20 damage. Just absolutely obliterated this knoll. Just sent him all knolls go to heaven, maybe. I don't know, but that one's definitely not on this plane of existence anymore. That was awesome. Oh, getting a crit feels so good. We will now proceed to the companion phase, where Dakon is going to move and interact and touch the clue, and we're going to roll and see what this clue is. 12 keys. I find a set of keys, and after the scenario I pick one figure to make an armory roll, target number 4. If I'm successful, I recognize these keys as the keys to Tor Varden and can use them in the next situation, the next scenario. Alright, so I'm going to mark that on my score sheet, and then the rest of it I think is just going to be moving people around. Nothing of significance going to happen, so I'll show you where everything ends. Alright, so everybody's just pushing on through to the other side, and we're going to go no event card this go round, so we're going to go to turn 9. Ranger phase. Dundrick is going to move. pick up the treasure. Right there. Rasmussen at this point is not, I don't want to keep him. I'm gonna move him off the board. And Sigvald and Olaf, however, I want to keep on the bridge because, so I'm gonna move Olaf first down to the bottom of the bridge, just to right there, because there's still another event card in here that I could draw that is another knoll popping up. I'm really hoping it's the Man-at-Arms because I get some XP for that. But if it's not, you know, it is what it is. That's the beauty of RNG, I suppose. You get this out of here. That'll do it from there. There's no creatures on the board, so we'll continue on. I'm going to move everything else around for my companion phase, and we'll go from there. So these folks are going to move up to hold the bridge in case another knoll comes out. Pick up the chest. Canola's just going to kind of rummage through the tent, see if he can find some sausages or something to eat. Okay. So that's the end of turn 9. Come on, Man-at-Arms. Oh. That's the knoll. Can't see it. Okay. So, yep, that makes sense. It's just going to pop out and then move straight into them. It doesn't say that it gets to attack or anything. It just says it moves 8 inches. Now, I'm assuming that it can't just move through me, but I could be wrong there. If I am wrong there, then let me know in the comments, and I will appreciate it, and I will take that into account in the future scenarios that say things like that. Okay, so Tobias is actually a pretty decent fighter. So I'm going to move him into combat here with the knoll and swing, so he'll be at a +4 with his base of 2 and support from Sigvald, which is a pretty fair swing. Oh, not when I roll like that. Not when I roll like that. Ouch. So that's going to be 21 against my armor. So that's going to do 11 damage. That's going to take me down to... Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong person. Ooh. 11. No, that's going to take him out. Ooh. Ouch, bud. Made it to the very end. Whew, that hurt. I'm going to swing with Olaf at +5 and hope that I roll better. Oh my goodness, I didn't. This knoll is a monster. That's monsters can't crit, luckily, but still, that's still going to be 22. Yeah, that's more than enough to kill Olaf. Holy smokes. I was looking really, really good for the next mission, and then this knoll came in and just ruined my day. Dundrick is gonna stay put. No point in moving him, really. So we'll go to monster phase. It'll be this knoll fighting Sigvald. Oh my goodness, what in the world is happening right? That'll do 11 damage, taking Sigvald to 1. Holy smokes, what is going on with this knoll? Holy smokes. Sigvald has no choice but to swing. Oh, of course. Alright, well, he got a pretty... I hurled the other dice in the floor in my excitement. Okay. So I'm going to hit with a 22. And then another 2, so 24. So with 1 hit point remaining, Sigvald manages to avenge his 2 compatriots that were just butchered right in front of him. And that is going to end this scenario. So, oh man, I feel... Whoo. So I had to take a moment. I felt some kind of way. I still feel some kind of way about that. But that's the swinginess of the game. It's, you know, it's wargaming in general, but especially in this game. This game is super, super swingy, but that's why, you know, when you hit hard, it feels good, and when you get hit hard, it feels bad. I am glad that at least Sigvald didn't die. He managed to hold the bridge. But I'm really disappointed because I feel like I played that whole mission really, really well. Like, I played to the idea of the mission, which was move quietly, get it done, and just had everybody, and had pretty much everybody at full health. Like, Tobias got one-shotted. You know, like, that was so, and then, like, that node popped out of the woods and then rolled like rolled like 18, 19, 20. Like, what in the world? But it is what it is. I'll figure out some things. We'll take some rolls. Hopefully nobody dies. So stick around if you would like to see the cleanup phase, where I'm going to do the aftermath, all the post-game stuff. And we'll send up some good thoughts for our fallen comrades. Hopefully they just got the wind knocked out of them, and they'll be right back. Okay, first thing, we'll make a survival check for Tobias, who rolls a 12, which is a full recovery. He'll be just fine. And then for Olaf, who rolls a 10, which is a full recovery. He'll be just fine. Woo! Whew. Okay. I'm here for it. All right, so now that I know my friends are okay, next step is my experience. So I killed 11 gnolls for 33 experience, 1 vulture for 8 experience. I found the keys for 5 experience. One of my companions walked off the board for 15 experience, for a total of 61 experience for my ranger, which will be enough for me to buy a level. Alright, so I'm level 1 to 5. So a level costs 100 XP. I had 132 total. And at level 2, which is what I am now, I improved my stats. So I chose to improve my shoot, going from a base 2 to a base 3, because I want to be a shooty ranger. So for companion progression, everybody will get 2 progression points, except for Tobias and Olaf, because they died. Which brings us to the next most fun part of this. Let's see what we got in that treasure we found. Oh, baby. That's a magic item. It might be worth it that my friends died, because that's a magic item, y'all. Let's see what we get. Okay. Here we go. I'm so excited right now. A 7. A 7 is Gauntlets of Strength. What? A figure may use this item to gain a +5 to any strength rolls. The figure must choose whether to use this item before the skill roll is made. Awesome. I'll figure out who I'm going to give that to in a minute. I'm going to give the Gauntlets of Strength to Tobias. I know he died. I know he got knocked down, but he got back up again. Just like that Chumbawamba song. And more importantly, like, Olaf already has a strength bonus. Sigvald has a strength bonus. Dakon can pick locks and do lots of other things. I just don't see me putting the Conjurer in a position where he needs a strength to make a strength check. And Cannoli can't wear gloves that are made for people. They would have to be like specially fitted for his dog paws. Which will bring us to the reorganized companions portion, which I'm not going to do. I'm happy with everything that I have going on here. I'm not leaving any of my friends behind. We all survived. Well, those friends made a full recovery, so they'll be back up to full health. And everybody else who survived the scenario moves me back up to full health. So thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out, rolling some dice, hanging out as my party ventures through the Scree and across the bridge at the River Enthel on our way to the beacon tower of Tor Varden. Thanks so much for stopping by, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, may the dice be ever in your favor. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon. You guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server. Talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.